All right. So Cloud Life is an online ministry that we started here, Youth for Christ, Fort Lauderdale, and Miami. So when you're thinking about where kids are spending most of their time, right? It's not outside, it's not even in school, it's right here on their phones. And so what we're trying to do is we're trying to harness that potential and reach out to kids, and we've kind of already done it. Right now, we have over 100 kids that are online in our Cloud Life ministry, and lives are already being changed. A couple stories that I could think of right off the bat. We have one student. There's one student that immediately comes to mind, and his mom used God as a weapon against him, telling him that God doesn't love him, he's a sinner, and that he's just worthless. And that really struck a chord with him in who he sees God to be. But after spending time with us day in and day out online, spending time in our chat rooms, talking to us online, and even coming visiting us in person for our occasional in-person events, his perspective is starting to change. He went from being very tense around the idea of prayer and conversation about God to more loose, more open. In fact, he even told one of our staff, is like, oh, you know what? God is actually kind of okay. Like I didn't know this is who God was. That's one of the students, and another student that comes to mind. It's actually crazy because you would think primarily in Youth for Christ, we are the missionaries, right? The adults go in and we reach out to the students, we connect with them. But the special thing has happened where we've been discipling believing students that have become our primary missionaries. And so one student who was excelling in every aspect of our online ministry was showing a lot of leadership potential. I reached out to her and asked her, I was like, hey, do you want to have like this leadership title and help us come up with ideas so we can improve? And she said, you know, Anthony, I'm not sure if I want to do that because I don't want my leadership role affect my ability to be able to share the gospel with students around me. And that's just a couple examples of what's happening on Cloud Life. So our missionary students, what they'll do is they'll be on the lookout for any opportunity for discussion, which is what I try to do as well. So it's very funny. There was a situation where one student, he left this comment in one of our chat rooms and he said, oh, I already know where I'm going. I'm going to hell. And I took that message, I started a thread, and I had a conversation about that topic. I was like, hey, why do you say that? And he says, oh, I just already know I'm a bad person. Like, based on everything that God says, like, there's no reason for me to go to heaven. And right before I was able to give a response, I was ready, and I saw my missionary kids come in and flying with the responses, hey, it's not about what you do. Jesus already did it for you on the cross. All you got to do is place your faith in him, and that's pretty much it. Don't worry about where you've done in your past. And they're quoting scripture to him. They're going Ephesians, Corinthians, and I'm just like, okay, you guys got it from here. So it's just great to see the way that Cloud Life has been able to work in the lives of believing students, non-believing students, and it's all happening from the comfort of their homes. Students that aren't able to go out to our in-person events, whether it be for health reasons or maybe they're just shy, are able to come and join in with us, play games with us, receive mentorship from us, and ultimately know the gospel. So I'm very excited for what's happening here at Cloud Life. So one of the many benefits to Cloud Life is that when it comes to our Youth for Christ programs, we have many programs. They're usually at set dates and times, right? So if a student isn't able to come to it, they just miss it altogether. Whereas Cloud Life is something that is always accessible. Every single day of the week, whenever they can, whenever they want to, they can hop online and start engaging with us. The thing is, too, when you think about a lot of our programs or even just school in general, you're seeing a lot of kids. You're seeing a lot of them playing games, talking, being loud. To us and to many kids, that's a fun, amazing experience. It's awesome. But there are a lot of other students who see that and they just feel this weight of fear, of just nervousness. They don't know what to do, how to handle that situation. And so they just prefer to stay away from it altogether. So oftentimes, a lot of the kids that flock to the Cloud Life ministry are students who prefer to keep to themselves, to keep their camera turned off. And that's how it is at first. For a majority of the time, cameras off, they're not talking much. But as they slowly begin to build relationships with us, understand who we are, who the other students are, and how much we care for them, they slowly get to that point where now they're talking more. Now they turn on their camera. Now they're showing their face. And so we're also breaking barriers from kids who are just too afraid to speak, too afraid to put themselves out there, to now being able to be more open, not only to talk, but also receive what is said to them. So that's a beautiful thing that we're seeing happening.